When the door opened, he hadn't expected to see someone like her. Tall, well-groomed, understatedly elegant, she entered with a slight smile, as if she already knew what was going to happen. He cast a look of disbelief. Babysitter? He was old enough to manage on his own, or at least he thought he was. She quietly looked around the house, asked a few duty questions, and sat down on the couch as if she was settling in for the long haul. He, for his part, decided he would not listen. The provocations began quickly. Loud music, ignoring requests, sarcastic comments. He was sure she would give up or just walk away like everyone before her. But Babysitter only remained silent, watching him with a calm smile that sent a chill down his spine. "Do you want to play bad boy?" she said quietly, finally rising. "You'll have to learn how to behave properly, on an appropriate scale." He snorted, but didn't have time to say anything in response. A second, and everything around him became bigger. Huge. The world grew by leaps and bounds. It was as if the floor beneath his feet had gotten farther, the air denser. He lost his balance and fell to the carpet, realizing he had shrunk, to the size of a toy, like a mouse in a world of giants. Babysitter stood over him, now seeming colossal. She bent down, picking him up lightly with 2 fingers as if he were nothing more than a doll. "Now we can talk," she whispered, settling him in her palm. "People like you understand only extreme measures." He tried to yell, to threaten, to demand, but her gaze was cold and her smile almost maternal. Almost. She wasn't physically hurting him, no, but every action she took was humiliating. She put him in a saucer from a cup, like a bathtub, threw him a piece of bread like an animal, Saturday next to him so he could stare at her huge feet, teasing, "Want to wipe my shoes with your tongue? You know, for bad behavior, that would be appropriate." He couldn't run away, couldn't hide. Even when she turned off the lights, he could hear her footsteps, feel them like earthquakes. Sometimes she would put him in a tea box and close the lid, letting him sit in the dark and contemplate his behavior. In time, the resistance was replaced by silence. He stopped arguing, stopped snapping at her. She, in turn, began to praise him. Sometimes, she even let him sit on her lap as a reward. But back to his old size number, she just smiled. "While you're small, you're learning. When I see that you've really changed, maybe we'll talk about going back." Days passed? Or weeks? He wasn't sure anymore. And she still came in the same way. Tucked him into a box or a cup, fed him crumbs, spoke to him affectionately, like a pet, and reminded him, every naughty behavior has a price, and disobedience has its measure.